Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Imagine for a moment that sacred, intensely personal space we retreat to every night. Your dreams. A canvas painted with your deepest fears, your wildest desires, your most absurd imaginings. It's your own private movie theater, your secret garden, a world built entirely by your subconscious. But what if that world wasn't so private anymore? What if, one ordinary night, the ethereal veil between your dreamscape and everyone else's simply dissolved? What if, as you drifted off, you didn't just enter your own mind, but suddenly found yourself swimming in the collective unconscious of 7 billion other people? The thought alone is enough to send a shiver down your spine, isn't it? No longer your personal narrative, but a chaotic, vibrant, terrifying mosaic of every human experience, every hidden thought, every unspoken wish, all swirling together in one impossible shared reality. That's the mind-bending premise we're diving into today. What if dreams merged? Not just some vague psychic link, but a literal, tangible convergence of every individual's nocturnal journey into a single, unified dream realm. Implications are staggering, stretching beyond mere sleep to redefine identity, reality, and perhaps the very nature of consciousness itself. Buckle up, because this rabbit hole goes deeper than you could ever dream. The first tremor of this seismic shift wouldn't be a global announcement, but a series of deeply unsettling personal experiences. People would wake up disoriented, convinced they'd just lived a life that wasn't their own. An accountant in Tokyo might vividly recall being a deep-sea fisherman off the coast of Norway, complete with the tang of salt and the strain on his muscles. A grandmother in Ohio might find herself inexplicably fluent in a language she'd never studied, only to realize she'd learned it in a shared dream with a scholar from ancient Rome. The initial reports would be dismissed as mass hysteria, vivid nightmares, or even a new kind of collective psychosis. Doctors would be baffled, psychologists overwhelmed. The consistency, the sheer impossible detail across disparate individuals would quickly become undeniable. People would describe the same impossible landscapes, encounter the same fantastical creatures, or even bump into familiar strangers who they'd never met in waking life, but felt a profound, inexplicable connection to from their shared dream encounters. The online forums, initially filled with quirky anecdotes, would explode with terror and wonder as millions discovered they were not alone in their nocturnal confusion. The scientific community, initially skeptical, would find itself scrambling. Brain scans would show unprecedented activity, neural pathways lighting up in synchronized patterns across subjects, even those thousands of miles apart. It wouldn't be long before the startling truth became undeniable. The dream world had become a single, interconnected entity. The immediate fallout would be a global identity crisis. If your most private thoughts, your deepest fears, your most embarrassing fantasies were suddenly accessible to billions, who even were you anymore? The concept of individual privacy would vanish overnight. Imagine waking up knowing your partner's secret crush from high school, not because they told you, but because you lived it in their dream. Or worse, knowing your child's hidden anxieties, not through empathy, but through direct, raw experience. Therapy would transform from a dialogue to a literal immersion in another's subconscious. Dream interpreters would become the most powerful and feared individuals on the planet, capable of navigating and understanding the vast ocean of merged minds. This constant influx of raw, unfiltered emotion and information would be overwhelming. Many would struggle to distinguish between their own memories and those they'd borrowed from the collective dream, leading to widespread derealization and depersonalization. The very fabric of self, woven from personal experience and memory, would begin to fray, replaced by a constantly shifting tapestry of shared existence. But not all of this merging would be benign. Consider the darker implications. Nightmares, no longer confined to one individual, could merge and amplify, creating super nightmares that would haunt the collective. The trauma of war, the fear of death, the anguish of loss experienced not by one, but by millions simultaneously. This isn't just empathy. This is direct, visceral participation in another's suffering. Imagine a child's fear of monsters merging with a soldier's PTSD, creating a terrifying entity that manifests across the shared dreamscape. Sleep would become a dangerous venture, a journey into a potentially traumatic shared reality. The psychological toll would be immense, leading to widespread anxiety, paranoia, and a desperate search for ways to block sleep, or at least block the shared dream experience. Governments might even attempt to weaponize this, training individuals to project fear or doubt into the collective dream, turning the subconscious into a battlefield. The concept of a dream virus, a disturbing idea or image that spreads like wildfire through the merged dream, infecting minds with dread and despair, would become a terrifying reality. Societal structures, already fragile, would buckle under the weight of this unprecedented mental strain and the collapse of personal secrets. Trust would erode, suspicion would proliferate, and humanity might find itself teetering on the brink of a collective nervous breakdown. Yet amidst the chaos and potential terror, there would be an undeniable potential for something extraordinary, something truly evolutionary. If dreams are a source of creativity, problem-solving, and emotional processing, what could emerge from 7 billion minds working, or rather, dreaming together? Imagine a scientist struggling with a complex equation, only to find the solution manifesting in a shared dream from the subconscious of another, completely unrelated genius on the other side of the world. Artists could collaborate on impossible canvases, painting with the emotions and visions of countless others. Musicians could compose symphonies that resonate with the collective harmony of humanity. This unified dreamscape could become a crucible for unimaginable innovation and artistic expression. New forms of communication, understanding, and even empathy could emerge, as individuals gain direct access to the perspectives and experiences of people from all walks of life, cultures, and beliefs. The collective unconscious, theorized by Jung, would no longer be an abstract concept, but a literal, navigable reality, a wellspring of shared human knowledge and experience. Individuals with particular mental resilience or unique neurological structures might emerge as dream architects, individuals capable of navigating, stabilizing, and perhaps even subtly shaping the merged dreamscape, acting as guides or protectors for the overwhelmed masses. The dream world would transform from a passive experience into a dynamic, interactive second reality, a new frontier for exploration and connection. Living in this hybrid reality, where the line between awake and asleep, real and imagined, was irrevocably blurred, would necessitate radical adaptation. New social norms and ethics would rapidly develop around dreaming. Is it a crime to intrude on someone's dream memory? Can shared dream experiences be used as legal evidence? Dream-proofing technology might become the next must-have, personal firewalls for the mind, or perhaps, conversely, dream-sharing protocols would become commonplace, allowing for controlled, consensual forays into the collective. The world as we know it would fundamentally change. Our understanding of self, of others, of reality itself, would be rewritten. We would no longer be isolated individuals, but interconnected threads in a vast, living tapestry of consciousness. This merging would be humanity's ultimate test, forcing us to confront our deepest fears and embrace our greatest potential. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe my YouTube channel for more interesting videos. Would humanity, forever altered, choose to succumb to the chaos of its shared nightmares, or would it awaken to the boundless potential of a collective dream?